One of the big things I do is I lead the executive branch, so I oversee a staff of about 15 people. I'm considered the supervisor for all intents and purposes, so I help make sure that everything's going really well. The executive branch is also an extension of the president, so I have certain obligations I have to meet, but then the executive branch kind of helps fill those roles given time constraints. I want to be able to meet all those obligations, so they're a little bit of an extension. And then just lastly, kind of what exactly does the president do? It's a lot of advocacy work. So a lot of the stuff that I do is in the state legislature. I spend a lot of time in Salem, meeting with legislators, advocating for students here. I give standing reports to the Board of Trustees. I kind of inform the board about what students are doing and how they're feeling. And then usually just day-to-day operations in ASOSU. So it's a lot of office work. I sit at my desk quite a bit. I send a lot of emails to people. So it's usually just meetings and things like that. In terms of splitting duties, though, for the most part, it's usually you have to be a team in everything that you do. We really value a lot of disagreement. So Aiden and I meet weekly, but we usually meet a lot more than that just because our offices are right next to each other, so we see each other almost every day. And so it's a lot of teamwork, though. You need to make sure you're on the same page. One of the easiest things to do in ASOSU, the vice president and president oversee the executive branch, and if they're not on the same page or if they have a split decision about something, that can really confuse a lot of people too about, well, who should I listen to? We have one person saying this and we have one person saying this. So it's really important to make sure that if there is disagreement, that usually we try to figure that out right from the beginning so that it doesn't get everything tangled up and split the staff. So what it comes back to is making sure that you're allowing students the opportunity to voice their concerns, allowing them the opportunity to speak to you. I have a very open door policy, so anytime my door is open, students are allowed to walk in, and I try to accommodate students to the best of my ability in meetings. So anytime students want to talk, great, I'm here to listen. At the same time, sometimes we might make decisions that people get upset about. I always like to think, though, sometimes if people aren't getting mad at you, then there's probably a good chance that you're not doing anything. So it's okay when people get angry. It also just shows, I think there's a really great Leslie Knope quote, but she says, like, when people are yelling and shouting at you, it's just people caring really loudly. So I think that's a really great way to view it, is that people, they might be upset. They're not always upset with you. They're upset with the decision, and they're upset with maybe they feel like they weren't heard. But if you do your very best to make sure that everyone has a voice, you can kind of hopefully move away from that possibility. Definitely more than I ever have in any other position. So there's a little bit of a difficulty being president in that it somewhat becomes your overall identity. It's a lot of fun. I love being president. I get to work with some really, really amazing people. The cool thing about it is you get to meet some of the most passionate students you'll ever meet. They're all trying to do really wonderful things, and you kind of get to work right alongside them. That's really, really awesome. You also get to see a lot of students have an idea or they get really passionate about something, and then ASOSU, you have the resources to help those ideas grow. So that's a really neat thing to see, to be able to see that growth happen. In terms of connections, though, you make a lot of great professional connections too. So I love all the students that I've met, and I work with really amazing people all the time. But you also get to meet some really cool administrators.